Continuing on from where we left off, we'll begin with a very popular template, the fixed sidebar. One of the other popular options is one, of course, of a vertical navigation, which lends itself to creating a strong vertical column on the left side of the page. Often, this is a fixed component that stays where it is where the rest of this page scrolls. The reason for this is so that the navigation can stay easily accessible from the point in the site. The rest of the content can integrate from one of the other layout designs mentioned from past and present lectures. Notice that it was modified the 3-box layout, this time in a 4-box arrangement. Look at all the layouts again and think about how you can mix and match the ideas to create new layouts. However, if you look again, you'll notice that it uses both a left side vertical sidebar and a 4-box layout. Yet another interesting idea that you should keep in mind when creating a site based on this example. Next is headline and gallery. Everyone loves a good gallery page. From a layout perspective, what could be simpler? All you need is a solid uniform grid of images and some room for a headline with an optional subhead. The key here is to make your headline big and bold. Feel free to use this as a point of creativity and include a script or some crazy typeface. This example uses compressed rectangles to mirror the real site below, but this can and should be versatile to be compatible with this site. The point here is to get you to be creative and not default to a square. You can even experiment with shapes to fit in your gallery. The designers purposely made the design to showcase a gallery of the logos for different companies. This goes to show that even if you are not a great designer, a thumbnail gallery might be a great way to showcase an otherwise plain and boring list of items. Next on our list is featured photo. The layout below is extremely common, especially among the photography community. The basic idea here is to have a large image displaying either your design or photography or your picture, or anything in particular really, accompanied by the left side vertical navigation bar. The navigation might be the strongest in the left alignment, but feel free to experiment with a center or even a right alignment to complement the straight edge of the photo. And next is the power grid. The power grid is the most complicated layout in all of the layouts, but it is one of the most effective layouts, especially for pages that need to showcase all kinds of various related content, from images and music players to text and videos. You can cram just about anything into this layout and it maximizes variety. The key lies in the bottom half of the preview above. Notice that there's actually a large container that holds a series of rectangles. This container provides you with the boundaries for your space, and all the content you place within should be formatted in a strong but varied grid. Not unlike the advanced grid layouts near the beginning of this lecture, this one can be difficult to put your mind around until you see some live examples. First is a showcase of various art and images, and that the description alone tells us the content is going to be all over the board. And indeed, we see the page is filled with Twitter feeds, photos, lists, and images, and more. However, it all fits tightly inside the grid that the designer has established. This layout is really expendable so that no matter how much you throw at it, the overall appearance shown remain fairly logical and uncluttered, as long as you format it and arrange your content properly. And the last layout that I'm going to show to you is the full screen photo layout. Ideally, this is suitable for photographers but will work for any site with a big attractive background graphic to display and a limited amount of content. It can be really hard to read content when it is laid over a background image. So the basic idea here is to create a nearly opaque horizontal bar that sits on top of the image and serves as a container for links, copies, logos, and other content. Rather than using the bar as one really wide content area, try splitting it into a few different sections. This can be done by varying the background color, adding some subtle vertical outlines, as dividers or even actually breaking the big box into smaller disconnected boxes as I've done in this example here. This layout might feel incredibly restrictive, but we get a glimpse into just how much it can hold. But it's not bad for such a small space, and it pulls all this off in a very clean and non-cluttered way. There are a few key points made above that I want to reiterate before ending this lesson. First, even though the page layout definitely isn't necessarily all-encompassing to all practices, there is a science to it that it can be quickly and easily applied in an incredibly vast number of circumstances. The layout idea in the lesson doesn't need to be a generic website that all looks the same, but instead merely provide you with a basic canvas on which to build upon your creative works. And finally, the key to successfully implementing these ideas is to remember that they're flexible and not set in stone. Each should be changed to fit your specific work or web project, and can even be mixed and matched to create new ideas. This is it for this lecture, and we will tackle more in-depth principles in the following lessons to build your design arsenal.